There are stories associated with Saint Padre Pio that strike the soul like thunder, visions of hell, warnings about sin, revelations of judgment. And then there are others that arrive quietly, almost gently, yet linger far longer in the heart. Among these is the mysterious and deeply consoling account of the soul who came to say a final goodbye. It is not a story of fear, but of mercy, not of spectacle, but of eternity brushing softly against time. Padre Pio was no stranger to the invisible world. Throughout his life, he lived with one foot in heaven and the other on earth. Souls from purgatory appeared to him regularly. Angels spoke to him, demons tormented him, and Christ himself marked his body with the wounds of the cross. Yet, even amid such extraordinary experiences, this particular encounter stood out for its quiet humanity. According to testimonies preserved by his spiritual children, Padre Pio once spoke of a soul who appeared to him shortly after death. This was not a dramatic apparition filled with fire or anguish. There was no screaming, no desperate plea for prayers, no warning of doom. Instead, the soul appeared with solemn calm, bearing the weight of eternity but also a profound peace. God, Padre Pio explained, had permitted this soul to return briefly, not to frighten the living, but to say goodbye. What makes this vision so striking is not only the fact that a soul returned, but why it was allowed to do so. The man who appeared to Padre Pio had not been known for exceptional holiness. He was not a monk, a mystic, or a public figure of faith. He had lived what most would call an ordinary life, marked by weaknesses, distractions, and spiritual negligence. Prayer had not been central. God had often been postponed. Like so many, he assumed there would always be time later. But at the final moment of his life, something changed. As death approached, stripped of illusions and excuses, the man was confronted with the truth of his soul. In that moment, he made a sincere and humble act of repentance. Not a casual regret, not fear alone, but a genuine turning of the heart toward God. He did not justify himself. He did not bargain. He simply surrendered. That single interior movement, hidden from the world, unseen by doctors, unnoticed by family, was enough to open the door of mercy. Padre Pio explained that the soul had been saved, though not without purification. Justice still required cleansing, but condemnation had been avoided. The soul was on the path to heaven, and before entering fully into eternity, God allowed him one last grace to appear briefly and say farewell. The soul did not speak many words. There was no long message, no theological discourse. Its presence alone was the message. A silent testimony that God's mercy is real, that no soul is beyond hope while life remains, and that the final orientation of the heart matters more than the length of one's spiritual résumé. Padre Pio was deeply moved by this encounter. He spoke of it not to comfort the complacent, but to awaken the living. He warned that while mercy can reach a soul at the last breath, such mercy should never be presumed upon. For every soul granted the grace of final repentance, there are others who resist until the end. The difference is not God's willingness to forgive, but the soul's willingness to surrender. This vision reveals a truth that is both consoling and unsettling. Heaven and hell are not decided by public reputation, but by the secret posture of the heart. Padre Pio often said that the most dangerous spiritual state is not open rebellion against God, but quiet postponement. Later, the soul says, tomorrow, when I have time. But death does not announce itself politely. It comes suddenly, often when conversion has been delayed for years. The vision of the soul who returned for a last goodbye is not a guarantee. It is a warning wrapped in mercy. There is another detail that gives this story its unique emotional weight. The soul did not return in despair. It did not cling to the world. It did not beg to stay longer. There was a sense of peace, but also finality. The goodbye was real. Earth had been left behind forever. This is what makes the story so haunting. It reminds us that every relationship, every conversation, every act of love in this life is temporary. One day there will be a final goodbye, whether spoken or not. And what remains after that goodbye is not memory, but eternity. Padre Pio understood this deeply. He lived each day as if eternity were near, because for him it was. He often urged people to go to confession, not out of fear, but out of love. Clean your soul now, he would say, so you do not have to tremble. Later, the vision of the soul who returned only confirmed what he had always preached. Conversion delayed is conversion endangered. At the same time, the story radiates hope. It tells us that God watches even the final heartbeat, that no sincere tear is wasted, that a broken heart offered honestly to God can still be transformed, even at the threshold of death. It reveals a Father who does not delight in condemnation, but who waits patiently, sometimes until the very last second, for his child to come home. This is why the story continues to resonate with so many people today. In a world obsessed with achievement, visibility, and performance, it reminds us that salvation is profoundly personal. It's not measured by how others see us, but by how we stand before God when all masks fall away. The soul who came to say goodbye did not return to impress. He returned as a witness to the seriousness of life, the reality of judgment, and the astonishing tenderness of divine mercy. Padre Pio shared this vision sparingly. He did not sensationalize it. He did not turn it into spectacle. For him it was sacred, and perhaps that is why it still speaks so powerfully. It does not shout, it whispers. And what it whispers is impossible to forget. One day each of us will stand where that soul stood, at the edge of eternity, with nothing but our soul in our hands. No status, no excuses, no delays, only truth. The question this story leaves us with is not whether God will be merciful, but whether we will be humble enough to receive that mercy while there is still time. The soul was allowed to say goodbye. We who are still alive are being given something even greater, the chance to choose today. We hope that this video has been to your liking. And if you love it, do not forget to give a like. Share it and subscribe to our channel for more beautiful visions from Padre Pio.